What's going on, YouTube? You're back with Shades, and we're continuing our Let's Play of Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left off, this is our second day of our running schedule with Emmy, and I'm 90% sure we're now on Emmy's route. Whoops. Oh well, I don't really care. The story's fun regardless of who I end up with, but it just definitely means that I have to look up a walkthrough next time and see where I could possibly end it, because I don't know how much of the beginning I can actually skip. Everything seems to meld so well together that I'm not sure like how many events are similar based on route. So I'm just gonna keep going. Anyway, after we've both taken some laps around the track to cool down, Emmy changes back to her usual self. The transformation I saw in her is gone. Not bad today, Hisao. There's almost admiration in her voice. What do you mean? I would have stopped if you hadn't yelled at me. Emmy colors a little, strangely embarrassed about her outburst. Sorry about that, I just can't stand to see people give up. Especially about something like this. Saying I can't go on is silly when you're obviously going on while you're saying it. That's what this is all about. What, saying silly things? Emmy sticks her tongue out at me. Idiot, I mean showing that you're alive. Showing I'm alive, huh? I didn't know it had to be so painful. But it does feel pretty good despite that. Besides, this is one of the hardest days. What do you mean? Whenever you start a workout, it's difficult the first day, really hard the second day, and the third day is easier. You'll still get the days that are really hard, but they'll pop up less and less. So this will eventually get really easy, huh? Yeah, of course! But then you have to increase the difficulty, you'll never get ahead. You just get complacent and you'll lose a sense of accomplishment. So you'll have to run more than just 4 laps, huh? Yep, but not for a while. You have to be careful, you know. A thought strikes Emmy and her face lights up. Got it! Got what? You can come with me to see the nurse, that way you won't fall over dead or anything. How charming. When? Right now, of course, you need a shower and everything, right? We don't have much time then. Grabbing my hand, she's off, pulling me along with her. My goodness, you're in a hurry today, aren't you, Emmy? Yeah, I have no idea how we got to the nurse's office so fast, but here we are. The nurse grins at Emmy and seems to completely ignore me. You got plenty of time to take a shower and get to class, you know. There's no need to run through the hallways like that. I could hear you coming a mile away. I don't know what voice to give him. Because he's not really an important character. I really looked it up on the website. He's literally labeled a side character, and he doesn't even have a name. It's just nurse. Somehow it doesn't seem likely he's actually scolding Emmy at all. It's like the sort of routine. It's like this is a sort of routine between the two of them. Emmy does a passable imitation of remorse. I'm sorry, I won't ever do it again. The nurse and Emmy both laugh at some private joke. Suddenly it seems that he notices me. Oh, hello Hisao. What brings you here? Well, Hisao's officially joined me in my morning runs. I start to explain, but Emmy cuts me off. I thought he might need to visit you so he doesn't die or anything. The nurse raises an eyebrow in mock horror. Yes, that would certainly put me out of a job fast, wouldn't it? I know actually, yeah, that's kind of true. Like, this is kind of the kind of humor that's with me. Usually people in the medical profession and people with disabilities of any sort, or have like dark past or blah blah blah, usually have very dark humor that's funny to them, but can be off-putting to other people. Whatever. Well then, Hisao, let's have a look at ya. Lift up your shirt, would you? I'm suddenly very conscious of the fact that Emmy's in the room with me, and blush in spite of myself. 1, it's just your shirt. 2, she's a friend? And 3, it's not like you're taking off your pants. The nurse seems to might sense my discomfort, but only seems to amuse him. A bit shy, aren't we? He makes an apologetic bow to Emmy. Sorry, Emmy, I tried to get you a free show, but it doesn't seem to have worked. This is amazing. He just takes off shirt. 6-pack! I highly doubt Hisao has a 6-pack, but whatever. Emmy stiffens slightly and fires a look of annoyance at him. You're an asshole. This is amazing. Emmy bows to me apologetically. I'll wait outside, okay, Hisao? That was amazing. Because, like, so far not a single person in this game has cursed, but the first one who curses is Emmy. It's adorable. You're an asshole. I begin to stammer that it's really not a big deal, she doesn't have to leave, but she's already out the door, and the nurse is laughing as he watches her go. Still got it, ha! How old are you? I don't follow. He laughs again, like it's on some sort of joke that's over my head. I can still get her flustered. It's a competition of sorts we've had going on for a while now. It sounds incredibly sinister to me, and it seems as if the nurse realizes that too. That sounded a lot worse than it actually is, come to think of it. I wasn't gonna say anything. No, you're right. I should fill you in so you don't get the wrong idea. I'm actually relatively new here, you see. I got hired the same year Emmy started going here. But before that, I worked with Emmy during her initial rehab following her accident. Hold on, what? We had to amputate her legs after a really nasty car wreck. It nearly killed her, and we succeeded. He shuts up abruptly. I blink at receiving this unexpected piece of news. Well, it's not my place to say. Anyway, we've known each other for quite a while. We have a slightly more familiar relationship than is strictly professional. He seems embarrassed, like he's done something stupid. Well, that was a nice bit of foreshadowing there, or exposition, because I just realized, I think Emmy's dad's dead, cause it was her dad that got her running. She lost her legs, and I'm guessing she went to rehab and got to running again later, but her dad is still her inspiration, so I'm guessing he is dead. Alright then, that's my theory for now until it's confirmed. I guess he's really worried about that. I wave a hand to let him know it's not a big deal. Don't worry, sir, I promise I'm gonna be discreet. Personally, for me, I would have been like, you don't have to tell me anything, I'm probably gonna forget. Personally, I forget a lot of things fairly easily. Because once my friend Kevy, who I used to censor my Honey Pop Let's Plays, if you've watched those, he once sent me a letter. He once Snapchatted me a letter he was in the process of writing for Beth, a friend of mine, because they were dating it. That was back in the earlier parts of their relationship. They're still dating now, which is amazing, because I love to tease them about it, and I usually third wheel them, which is fun. But anyway, he was like, I was like, why did you, it's like, the Snapchat was like, oh, the letter, and oh, I'm writing this for Beth, and I was like, why are you sending me this? And he's like, bro, because I trust you. And I'm like, literally, I'm probably gonna forget. And I literally did, because about a month later, Beth got her mail, and the letter was there, and I'm like, oh yeah, Kevin wrote that a while back. And she was like, did you really forget? I told him I was gonna forget, and that's literally the gist of it. It was funny. I've been wondering about what caused Emmy to lose her legs, and this was one of the scenarios I thought of. There had only been so many ways that could have happened, but actually hearing about the facts, it's still a little shocking. Well, thanks. You're a good kid. You're good. You're a good kid, Hisao. I can see why Emmy became friends with you. She's quite indomitable, you know. What do you mean? You didn't see her learning to walk. She'd go for so much longer than the others in the hospital. She refused to quit. Normally it takes years to get to a point where you can even think about running again, and Emmy did it all in about a year. He seems almost proud of her, like a father who watches his daughter win a competition or something. Hell, she'd probably have done it faster if not for the fact that we wouldn't let her. Wouldn't let her? Why not? Because she'd go for so long that her legs would start bleeding where they met her prosthetics. It's a real concern. It's why she comes by every day after she runs. To say nothing of the risk of infection if her legs get cut up and her prosthetics are dirty. But enough about that. If we don't get you on your way soon, Emmy will think we're up to something. As he says this, he gives a wink and begins checking my heartbeat. The stethoscope is way too cold, or your body's way too hot. It could still be overheated from the run. He really should have heated it up or something before he used it. 1. No. 2. You're a baby. 3. Your body is hot from running. After a few moments, he leans back, satisfied. Well, you sound pretty good to me, Hisao. You didn't have any chest pains while you were running, did you? No, not really. I had some trouble catching my breath, though, and my heart was racing by the end, too. Nurse frowns as I say this, but then shrugs. It's probably just because you're out of shape, but if you don't improve, then you should let me know, okay? Don't push yourself too much, and of course, if you have any chest pains, come to me immediately, right? Put my shirt back on, and the nurse leans out of the doorway to call in Emmy. What took you so long? Now I'm gonna be late. The nurse gives me a significant look. I was just seducing you, so that's all. I love this guy. Oh, it's such a shame he's a side character. But then again, this is a dating sim slash visual novel, so I guess an adult nurse being a love interest would be odd. Hmm. Such a shame. Such a shame. But he's a funny character, I have to say that. Especially when he like talks to Emmy. That's funny. What? Come on! What have I told you about seducing my friends? I'd expect Emmy to be shocked by this, but instead she's merely annoyed, scolding the nurse as if he were a child stealing cookies. This reminds me of the relationship I have with my friends. Like, we always tease each other, but the teasing is always back and forth. Meanwhile, I try hard not to blush at the nurse's innuendo. I'll try not to do it again, though I fear young Hisang may be lost to the female gender forever. Jesus Christ. This guy's amazing. Not freaking lightly. What the hell? I didn't mean to say it out loud, but both the nurse and Emmy regarded me for a moment before bursting into laughter again. Told you he was funny, didn't I? I guess Emmy does talk to the nurse a lot about stuff. Well, Hisao, you should probably get moving. You need to shower before class starts, don't you? Crap, he's got a point, and it looks like I've only got half an hour. Thanks for your time. I'll see you later, Emmy. I dash out of the room as the nurse begins to remove Emmy's prosthetics. As I head down the hallway, I can just barely hear his voice drifting after me. Emmy, you've got to be more careful. I'm guessing she still has, like, cuts and stuff on her legs. But shouldn't she have, like, padding or something on the running prosthetics so she doesn't, like cut up her stubs? I don't know how they work. Again, I don't know a lot of people who are amputees. I don't know any people who are amputees at all. It's interesting to think about. I make it back to my room and shower in record time. It occurs to me that I've already been up for 4 hours and class hasn't even started. This is going to be a really, really long day. I hope I don't fall asleep in class. The morning sunlight streaming through my window wakes me up instead of my alarm, and I realize it must be Sunday. Emmy has kindly deigned to give me weekends off on our morning runs. And I don't actually know if I woke up at all yesterday or if I just slept through the entire day. My legs groan in protest as I lever myself out of bed. All this running has really taken it out of me. Still, I can't deny that Emmy wasn't lying to me. It has gotten a little easier. I've been worried that the runs would start to wear on my nerves, but thus far I haven't minded them that much. Well, it's only been a week. I suppose there's plenty of time for me to start dreading the sound of my alarm in the morning. Not that I could ever skip out now. As Emmy said, it's harder to stop a routine when there's another person. And frankly, I don't think I'm equipped to deal with a disappointed Emmy. She'd probably give me those puppy dog eyes and I'd feel terrible about myself. Which reminds me, wasn't I supposed to be somewhere today? Hey, you're coming to my track meet on Sunday, right? What am I talking about? Of course you are. Flashback! Okay. Crap, Emmy's oops. Let's just skip through the cutscene, the flashback. Crap, Emmy's track meet. I better get a move on if I don't want to miss her running, since she's the only reason I'm even considering going. Otherwise, it would defeat the whole purpose of going. And so I soon find myself quite suddenly surrounded by a crowd of people all turning out to see our track team commit. Oh, I thought there was someone like talking. I'm like, oh, it's like background noise. Could be another school like this one. I admit, it's almost comforting to know that we're not the only school like this. After you see that there are 2 schools with a bunch of defective kids, well, you stop feeling so defective. You also stop feeling unique, which is in most cases would be a bad thing, but in this case it sure as hell isn't. It's a part of Yamaku's appeal, I suppose. Learn that you're not unique. Hell, there's a lot of others who would kill to be saddled with your problem instead of whatever they're dealing with. Some of the kids here aren't here because they're missing a leg or they have a heart condition. Some of them might be here because they're good as dead in 2, maybe 3 years if they're lucky. And that's only if they get the right sort of care. It's a bitter sort of comfort to say, well, at least I've got a chance to be alive through college, but there it is. I brought out my rather morbid musings by the appearance of Rin near the entrance of the bleachers. You came. Of course, I said I would, didn't I? It doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow through. Lots of people say things and don't mean them. Well, I don't. Rin shrugs, seemingly bored with our conversation. She turns on her heels and heads back toward the stands. I owe Emmy money now. Why's that? I didn't think you'd show up. Emmy did. I still owe her 500 yen. You two bet an awful lot, don't you? Another shrug from my armless companion. I don't think so. We enter the bleachers and Rin nods upwards. Up there. I came out to see if you'd come. For the bet, I presume. Rin leads the way and we soon settle down on an almost empty bench. There's an older woman sitting next to Rin. Someone's mother, I assume. I'm guessing this is Emmy's mom. She's got rather long hair done up in a braid. On seeing Rin, she gives an oddly familiar-seeming grin. Well, this is surprising. I thought you two went to get a snack. I thought you went to get a snack. I thought you went to get a snack, not a boy. Huh? A snack? I wondered why I was down there. The woman laughs again in a way that seems familiar. Where have I seen her before? Well, I suppose you've always been one to go out of your way, go out for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Meiko Ibarazaki, Emmy's mother. Called it. Pleased to meet you. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, better endowed Emmy. Really? Stop it! You dirty, dirty boy. I'll be right back. I have to go to the restroom. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have returned, and this guy's a perv. Apart from her hair being a darker shade than Emmy's, there really is no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, sorry, Tone. Sorry, I'm Hisao. Hisao Nakai. And really, don't have to apologize for not introducing yourself, Miss Ibarazaki. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to pronounce that right. That's really Rin's job in the situation, isn't it? Another laugh from Emmy's mother. I take it you've not known. I cannot give these people voices. I take it you've not known Rin for long, then. It's best not to expect her to remember something like that. She's got other things to think about, I assume. Rin nods, seeming pleased by this assessment. She is right. I was thinking about sunsets. You see, it's really up to us to make introductions and the like. For the lack of any better response, I nod. Mrs. Ibarazaki leans back on her seat and raises an eyebrow. So how long have you been how long have you been I can't. It's great. I love the assumptions. How long have you and Rin been dating? My response consists of silence as my brain suddenly lurches into gear, but just before I can utter a hastily babbled explanation, Emmy's mother bursts into laughter again. Ha! You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep up my dignity in this situation, so I settle for a mumbled response. Maybe. The thing is, I don't know that problem because I have dark skin. So when I blush, it's not really noticeable. But what is very noticeable is my body language changes whenever I get embarrassed. So this must be a new romance then, mustn't it? Oh my god! I love this! This is so amazing! Wait, that's not the question that... Another laugh. I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. I'm sorry. Forgive an old woman her amusements. Old woman. She sure doesn't look that old to me. It also is the way she's drawn. Like, all characters drawn in this fashion, unless they're purposely made to look old, look like at least 20, or depending on their age. But yeah, she definitely looks like a mother. I don't know the difference between writing a teenager and drawing a teenager and drawing an adult, but there is a subtle difference that makes enough, and I can't tell what it is. It could be your clothes, I don't know. Clearly Emmy gets her youthful features from her mother. I suppose I can let it go. How kind of you. It's starting. Oh, it's starting. Is Emmy the only one with prosthetic? Oh, everyone here. This girl's missing a hand. I can't tell with this one. And the other ones seem to be outwardly normal. I direct my attention to the track where they're preparing for the first sprint. It's like a 400 meter. Looks like a 400 meter dash. I wonder. I definitely can tell whenever I'm holding something while walking. My balance shifts. I wonder if missing a hand causes your balance to shift like that. Curious. My eyes scan the runners before finding Emmy. She's smiling with an almost cocky look on her face. The starter raises his pistol. Emmy explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. It's amazing, even as the other sprinters converge on the lanes closest to the inside, Emmy surges in front of the pack. By the time she rounds the final turn, some of the other runners have caught up with her. Their efforts come to naught, though, since a final burst of speed from Emmy leaves them at least half a second behind. Mrs. Ibaraki whoops and shouts, applauding wildly and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child. Emmy bounds off the track, looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives the result. I think she's gotten faster since the last time. Mako? Oh yeah, Mom. I think she's gotten faster since last time. That was incredible. Mrs. Ibarazaki grins proudly. I can't get the last names. Emmy's heck of a runner. We fall silent as the next event is being prepared. I'm surprised to see Emmy striding out to the track again. Wait, doesn't she just run? Emmy's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emmy can handle it. From the looks of things, she's right. Emmy doesn't appear to be tired. It's as if she's run the previous event, as if she hadn't run the previous event at all. If not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you'd never know. Which event is this? It's a 200-meter dash. She'll do this one, the 100-meter, and the relay. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, Emmy flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Emmy's mother cheers again, and I assume that the race is over. Sprints don't seem to me like they take very long to complete. Your foot. Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Oh. You seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. Rin looks at me quizzically. Why wouldn't I be? No reason, just thought stuff like sports wouldn't interest you. I suppose you're right. Not that it's not that interesting. But I'm watching Emmy, not the sport. I don't follow. Emmy's the most Emmy when she runs. You don't get to see Emmy at her Emmyest very often. But here you can, see? She directs my attention toward the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emmy closely. Dead Emmy booty, though. She gets into her starter blocks, and her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. I can see that she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up and her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward at what could be a grin and could be a growl. When the pistol goes off, it's as if she's been unleashed from a cage, like she was always moving at this blinding speed, but we couldn't see it happening until the starter pistol dispelled the illusion of motionlessness. It's all over in a few seconds, but in those few seconds, I feel like I just witnessed something very personal for Emmy. As soon as she crossed the finish line, that fierce look was replaced by a normal grin. The conquering general returned to his farm. Amazing. She really is amazing. I've never seen anyone move that fast. Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emmy's prowess all came from her father's side. At that mention of Emmy's father, Miss Ibarazaki looks wistful, almost sad. He got her into running, you know. Yeah, she told me. I'm uncertain as to whether or not it would be rude of me to ask after Emmy's father. No! Don't! It should be obvious. He's dead. He's dead. Like, she got sad after mentioning him. No! It makes me mad when people can't read. No one can't read, can't, notice stuff like this. But after a look on her face a few days ago, I feel compelled to ask. Where is her father now, if I might ask? Emmy's mother hesitates, clearly not willing to answer the question, but at the same time not wishing to appear rude. He isn't around anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Emmy just seemed a little sad when she mentioned him earlier. That's not surprising, considering... They were very close. I see. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Miss Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages? What is he, 16? Oh, nothing. Stepdad? Stepdad. Possible boyfriend? The plot thickens. I've got to go meet up with a friend of mine. Will you tell Emmy I'm very proud of her and that I'll call her later tonight? Of course. I admit that I zone out for a while. I almost don't notice that the relay is about to begin. But when I look, I can't find Emmy. I thought Emmy would be running the relay. She runs anchor. So she won't be running for a while yet. Ah! Did you see it? Huh? Emmy at her Emmyest. Maybe. Maybe this time. The race begins and I cheer Emmy's teammates along as they pass the baton. Finally, I see Emmy sprinting onto the track to take the final handoff. Once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she runs. It really is beautiful. The look of the look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy at her emmiest, I suppose. But then, as she crosses the finish line, I see her stumble slightly, but it's only barely, but a definite stumble. Rin inhales sharply and actually looks concerned for a second. Aw, Emmy. Did she hurt herself, do you think? You noticed it. You noticed it too? It must be bad. She frowns as if deciding on the next course of action. Eventually that proves to be too tiresome and she shrugs again. Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor. See if you can find a laurel bench. That's not gonna be easy. Laurel branch, my bad. Rin shrugs. At least we tried. Well, we didn't really try at all that hard. Or at all, but hey, whatever. Emmy's surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Rin seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. Oh yeah, I guess she can't exactly wave Emmy over. I would've just kicked in the air, woo! Then again, I'm not sure that Rin would do such a thing even if she had arms. It really doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself or remote beyond shrugging. Either way, I'm not willing to wait, so I wave to Emmy, who looks up and grins happily at me. Us. Ooh, he said me in his thoughts. Hey, you showed up! Guess Rin owes me money, huh? We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but he Sao didn't find one. Hey, neither did you. It wasn't my job to look. When did we assign jobs? When I said, see if you can find a laurel branch. Try to keep up. I shrug. Guess Rin's rubbing off on me. Seems it's my fault after all, Emmy. Emmy laughs at Rin and me. It's okay. I'm sure you'll make it up to me somehow. Sure. Good. So how'd I look? I stopped myself from breathing. So cute. I ship it so hard. I stopped myself from blurting out beautiful or amazing and settled for the substantially safer very impressive. Emmy seems pleased with this assessment. I don't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I figure she knows that already. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her efforts somehow. Hang on, let me see if I can slow down the text speed. Because personally, I always keep text speed fairly fast because I read very fast, like eyes. But I'm guessing I should slow it down because I'm reading it audibly. Great to hear. I was worried that it looked a little slow on the relay, but I guess it did fine, huh? Actually, oh, I'm guessing she doesn't like showing any sort of weakness about her legs, so Rin doesn't want me to tell me about it. Rin kicks me and keeps me from finishing my sentence. What was that all about? He noticed it at the end. That's no good. Guess the nurse will look at it for me later. There's a carelessness in her voice, as if it isn't a big deal, but I suddenly notice a slight twitch in her face, like she's trying to hide the fact that she's in pain. It's then I notice her breathing's a little shallow too. Guess she really is hurt. She must notice my concern because she skips to me and gives me a friendly pat on the shoulder. Hey, you look a little worried. I'm fine, really. Just sore from all the running, that is all. And come on, a little pain isn't gonna stop me. Oh no. Emmy grins, and for a moment she looks like she did during her sprint, fierce and unconquerable. Or to put it another way, really beautiful. Just tell her how you feel so I can write it into my fanfiction. Kidding. I know it's gonna happen by the end. I'm definitely on the Emmy route. Hasn't yet. Well then I guess I shouldn't worry, huh? Damn right! I'm Emmy Ibarozaki, fastest thing on no legs. I don't stop for anything. Impressive. Emmy giggles and then seems to remember something. Oh, before I forget, Rin and I are going to go do something next Sunday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Normally we do it the day after, but since the track meet's on a Sunday, I've got homework and class and all that stuff to take care of. Plus our morning run, of course. Right, of course. Alright, your mom wanted to say she's proud of you. She'll call you later tonight. I thought I saw her in the stands. I'm glad she made it. Used to be my dad who showed up to my meets, but mom's done a pretty good job of taking over. She shivers slightly, and I realize that she's all sweaty. A breeze has started to blow, too. I'm not cold at all, but I've got my jacket on me, so without a word, I throw it around her shoulders. Yeah, oh my god, I'm over time, but I don't care! This is so cute! I'm gonna end the part here while I'm still excited. so I can start the next part real quickly. So thank you all so much for watching. This is adorable. Like button if you like it. Subscribe if you want. I'll see you next time. Exiting Shadyverse, all that shit, good jazz. See you later. Bye.